So let's be real here. Most of the time, when we're trying to change something about ourselves, we aren't successful the first time. So let's talk about how to turn mistakes into growth. This episode of Therapy in a Nutshell is on falling forward. If you want to know how to turn your mistakes, flaws, errors, whatever it is, into growth, the first thing we want to do is look for obstacles that get in the way of our progress. So look out for black and white thinking, all or nothing thinking. This says, well, if I haven't figured it out or I don't get it, I'm never going to get it. An example of this is saying something like, if I can't stick to my diet every day, then I might as well not even try to eat healthy. This is all or nothing thinking. It gets in the way of our growth. Number two, seeing mistakes as evidence that you are bad, broken, or deficient. This is going to stop you from trying to change. Number four, seeing the past as proof of what the future is going to be. So saying things like, I am never going to be able to learn calculus, or I'm never going to find love. Small changes and steady efforts really do make a difference. They build new habits and strengthen emotional muscles. You don't have to be perfect to make progress and eventually arrive at where you want to be. Here's a few ways to think about mistakes that can help you turn them into growth. Number one, replace all or nothing thinking with moderation. So instead of saying, I'm a complete failure, say something like, well, I made that mistake, or I didn't get it right that time. So make it, just as clear and crisp about the incident or the event as possible. Number two, see yourself as a student of life. One thing that can be helpful is to distinguish two types of action. 95% of our life is practice. We're trying to become better. We're experimenting with new things. This is a time where making mistakes is really essential to growth. So much of our time, consider yourself as being in practice. I'm practicing to become a better parent. I'm practicing, I'm working, learning, and growing. And the other type of action is performance. There's a few times where it's really essential that we get it right and we don't mess up. So in those situations, it does matter that we strive hard to eliminate mistakes. So let's say our child comes in and admits to us that they've done something awful. At that moment, it's essential that we use our very best parenting skills, try and get it right, and listen calmly without freaking out. But remember, 95% of the time, we are in practice mode. We're just trying to train ourselves to get stronger, better, or more efficient at doing things the way we want to do them. Don't get so rigid with yourself and demand perfection during training. If you do that, that means you're going to stop trying new things or looking for alternatives that might not work, but they also might work. So what I'm saying is, if all you're focused on is preventing mistakes, then you're not going to be able to get better at what you need to get better at. Number three, see mistakes as learning opportunities. The authors of Change Anything call this turning a bad day into good data. Be curious instead of judgmental. Ask yourself what went wrong. Within limits, try and analyze what you could do better, what you could do differently, or how you could create the change that you want to. Ask yourself what was working and what wasn't. Start looking for more resources around the issue or the topic. Every mistake can be beneficial if we take a student of life approach. One way we can improve our ability to be a student is to journal. So if we're taking notes on what we're learning and we're writing down what's working and what's not, we're going to be more likely to learn more quickly. So one of my favorite people said, life's lessons are repeated until they're learned. If we write them down, we might not have to repeat our mistakes so many times. Another way to improve our skills as a student of life is to ask others for their perspective. Within our own point of view, we're often kind of blinded to things about ourselves that we can change or how we could go about change. So ask people you care about and trust what they think you should work on or how they think you could go about solving this problem. Number four, keep using the term not yet. So instead of classifying your skills as like, oh, I've got this and I'm a failure, say, okay, I've got this figured out and these areas I haven't figured out yet. I haven't quite figured out yet how to listen to my daughter in the right way, or I haven't quite figured out yet how to be patient. That leaves a space open for growth, learning, and change. Edward Everett Hale said, I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something, and I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do. If you want more on this topic, check out my video on the relapse and recovery timeline. Thanks for watching, hope this was helpful, and take care.